Come on.
I'm back. Took a few days off, reset, created a plan, put my positivity out in the universe, meditated, thought about my best friend who passed away a long, long time ago and said, "You got me, right? You got me?" And the essence was, I got you and I love you. And a feeling of everything will be okay. You like beans. You love beans and rice. With the base of it being ketchup. You like that. You'll be okay. Guys, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And I'm going to not pigeonhole myself in a box. I'm going to step out of the box. So that's what I'm gonna do. And $5 fish plates coming soon. $5 chicken, $5 fish plates. But I'm back. I'm okay. I'm in good spirits. I'm over whatever I was going through. And I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay, guys. Just support the channel for free. I'm not asking for no actual money. Just support the channel, like, share, tell your friends about it. So I could get monetized. And also I got the ability to afford to give out free merch. So send me an email, aired AIRED static@gmail.com. Give me a mailing address and I'll mail you free merch. No cost to you, not even the shipping. I'll cover the shipping, I'll cover the merch. Wear it around the house when your family comes over and they be like, "What's that?" And be like, "Oh, this is Eric's channel. It's dope." If you a guy and you into fitness, just let me know which channel you want. If you want my husband's Eli's Fitness Wisdom Workouts channel, or you want mine, or you want both, let me know. And I will send you the free merches. Mail me an address to mail it to, if you're comfortable. And if you're local, like if you live in my area, which is like the Bronx, Westchester area, I'll even deliver it. I'm doing what I can to really get this channel out there. And also, if you want to be interviewed or you want to take part in one of the lives, it could be in person, or you could phone in, right? Old school, phone in or video in. I have the capabilities to do that. Please let me know, like, pick a topic, or I could pick a topic. I got a bunch of topics in my head. If you want to talk about something I have talked about before and we could just go back and forth on that, all is welcome. So yeah, so I want to got that out the way, right? Let's talk about what's going on. And this is a pretty sensitive topic, and I'm going to try to be as politically correct as possible, but I also want to respect both sides because I'm on one of those sides. So if you're in New York, I think they're syndicated, right? The Breakfast Club, which is Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, and now Jess Hillarious. Charlamagne made a joke about Risa Tisa. She's that woman that put that 50-part TikTok series about who did I marry, and got everybody in a chokehold. Now, my ADHD will not allow me to sit there and watch 50 parts of nothing, but I got the gist of what's happening, and it damn sure is a good Tubi Lifetime situation. She's sitting in her car talking about it, and she got people pigeonholed. So anyway, Charlamagne says that this is a big back energy, and why she was taken advantage of, pretty much because she's desperate, big bike woman, right? Bike, like they say it in Miami. I love it. Big bike woman. And T.S. Madison, if you don't know who T.S. Madison is, she is a transsexual, former adult star, now businesswoman, executive producer. She has a Grammy and now she has an Emmy. So she's really out there doing big things. And she pretty much got her notoriety from a YouTube show that she had with Kaya, My Neck and My Bike. That Kaya? What the fuck is going on? That rapper Kaya? Um, so anyway, somebody just aggressively honked their horn. I don't know why. Called Queen's Court, and it was really funny, and they would read people down to the ground, honey, celebrities, everybody. But that's where she picked up her notoriety from, and it just kind of like springboarded from there. So I've talked about T.S. Madison before. So anyway, T.S. Madison says, when we're going to cave his face in for talking about us fellow big backs. Now, I'm from New York, and when you tell somebody you're going to cave their face in, it's a physical threat. That's how I'm from the East Coast, right? T.S. Madison is from Florida, Dade County, Miami. I'm from the East Coast. You tell somebody you want to cave their face in, I'm going to cave your face in. Anyway, Jess Hillarious goes and on the show, because she's on the show every day now, and discusses that it's very accurate, and says if any one of us had made that comment, that would have been a hate crime. If any one of us would have made that comment, that would have been a hate crime. And that, pretty much, why are you allowed to say these things and us regulars are not, because of your situational gender identity status? Any one of us would have said that to you, that's a hate crime. T.S. Madison goes on her show Fag Talk, PHAG Fag Talk, with her co-worker friend, and then addresses Jess's comment. There's a lot of I'm getting tongue-tied a little bit. Addresses and pretty much reads Jess and misgendering Jess and calling her Jess he, like a man, Hillarious. Now, Jess Hillarious, because it's Jess and then Hillarious, like a joke, has a son, and now she is currently pregnant. So she is a biological cis het woman. Now, Jess Hillarious does sound like she smokes Black and Miles and a pack of Newports a day. She has a very, very deep voice, but she is despite that, it's a feminine deep voice. And Jess Hillarious, I think, is a very, 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 very beautiful woman. She is dark skinned. And I say that because a lot of people think that there's a colorist undertone where T.S. Madison feels okay to misgender her. But anyway, her picture's in the thumbnail. I think Jess Hillarious is beautiful. I've always thought she was beautiful, even before she became mainstream, because I followed her on the Instagram reels and Facebook reels. I knew who she was before she was this entity that is Jess Hillarious. So anyway, T.S. Madison then goes, now, for all these years I've followed T.S. Madison, she has said that she is a woman. Tits at the top, dick at the bottom. BigDickBitch.com. That's her website. But my pronouns are she, her, and hers. I am a woman. I'm a Tia. The Tias and T.S. Madison stands for transsexual Madison. That's what it stands for, right? She doesn't want anybody calling her by her former name, which is Timothy. She wanted to be identified as Maddie, Madison, T.S. Madison, if you will, but feminine, female pronouns. Now, I feel like T.S. Madison then says, I'm a she-male, I'll always be a she-male, so that she could get licensed to use her joke of just hilarious and misgender Jess Hillarious. So now all of a sudden you are a she-male, right? So that you could use the just hilarious read. I found that to be, because this whole time you have tore people to smithereens when they refer to you as a man or he, and you don't look like it, right? You say you look like your mother, which you do, and you wear the wigs and you got the big titties and the hips and everything, and you live your life as a woman. You're not these. You're not the saucy Santanas. From the neck up, you a man, and from the neck down, you're a woman. No, T.S. Madison, from head to toe, down to the estrogen patches she makes her engineer put on her, is a woman, a transsexual woman. So I found that to be a little like, all right, Madison, right? It's cute, just hilarious, but you're gonna just change everything just so you can make that joke, because you know if you made that joke, people are gonna come for you. So then T.S. Madison also talks about how Just Hilarious is transphobic because the trans has taken one of her ex-boyfriends and yada yada yada, right? So Jess then goes on the radio again and addresses it again and says that if any one of them, especially Charlemagne and DJ Envy, had misgendered her, it would have been a big, big problem. And Jess, you are 100% accurate in that assumption. And not one time did Jess call her a he, a man, a nigga in a wig. Never. The only thing she called her was, and even I'm saying her, because T.S. Madison, that's what you told us to call you. That's what you have indoctrinated us to do. That's what you have browbeaten us to do. And I'm doing that. And Just did that. Just called you female pronouns. Woman, her, she, her. The only thing that Just said was called you transsexual Madison. But that's what the TS stands for. And that's what you said you are. So that's not even a misgendering or a read. That is what the T and TS stands for. I'm wearing T.S. Madison's cologne right now. Everything. That cologne is everything. I actually have another one on the way. I enjoy T.S. Madison's content and T.S. Madison's read, and I even enjoy the boasting. And this is what I got, and you bitches ain't got it. Because she literally was a prostitute and then went into an adult film star and capitalized off of that and made her own businesses. And she's probably a millionaire. I even like the boasting. I love it. That's not something I would do, but you ain't got to be like me. And different strokes for different folks. But I'm not going to agree with you blindly because I like your personality or your persona. Charlemagne the God made a comment, and it was a joke. We all know it was a joke, though. Nobody take Leonard seriously. We know it was a joke. And yeah, Risa Tisa is giving big bike energy, low self-esteem, that you allowed this man who was littered in red flags and you ignored everything. And that's usually what happens when you're big, fat, and black and you don't have a high self-esteem. Now, I've never had that. One thing I've always had was very high self-esteem, um, even around the most traditional, societally thin, model-esque, beautiful women. When I walk into a room, my head is held high, honey. And I will put all 320 pounds in some high heels. Ask any of my friends. You invite me somewhere, I'm in heels. Heels, knees grinding bone on bone. You invite me somewhere, I'm going to be in some high heels. I was always making sure I was cute and girly and feminine. Okay? I'd be the biggest, fattest one. I'm usually the biggest, fattest one in the room, but I'm the one twirling around the boys, hunty. No, and the skinny girls be trying to play coy and shy and want people to give them no attention. No, I'll take the attention. So, That was the case. And that's usually reminiscent of fat black women with low self-esteem, that they'll let these men do these sort of things. So yes, it was a joke from Charlemagne, but there's truth and humor. But then TS inserted herself, and if indeed she was talking about Kavia Facing as far as reading Charlemagne down to the ground and it not have an underlying tone of physical violence, then TS, you should have went on Fat Talk and just said that. You should have said it was a, I'm sorry if, not even I'm sorry, you didn't even have to apologize. I'm taking back the sorry. You could have just said, my bad, y'all, or leave that out and just say, where I'm from, cave my face. I was misinterpreted. Where I'm from, cave your face and means like dissing them or reading them. It doesn't mean physical, and just, thought it meant physical, but it doesn't. That's not it. That's not what I meant. I meant tear him up in the comments. That's all you needed to say. But I feel like you took the opportunity because Jess and T.S. Madison has had this situation before, not physical, but a back and forth online before. I feel like you, TS, use this opportunity to get all of the reads out that you did not have the opportunity because the situation was squashed, in my opinion, prematurely for you, and you had all of this in the chamber, and you knew you would be wrong if you fired it off after the situation was squashed. So you used this opportunity because Jess said something about it, which was true, but you used this opportunity as a got him moment to unleash all of these reads you had in the chamber. And TS, you bought a shotgun to kill a fly, pretty much. Like, Jess wasn't disrespectful to you. She called out the hypocrisies in what you were doing. And my prior video and even my introduction, I had referred to myself as a cishet woman. And although cis is a scientific term that's not brand new, that's been around, yes, it has. I do feel like cis women who have to now self-identify for clarification as cis women, when before we were referred to as women, but the trans women get to now garner the word as women or woman, but cis women now have to use that prefix. To me, is very colonizing behavior. And let me explain. The colonizers come into your world, rename you, reclassify you, and then they take. So that's what I feel like is happening. I don't think cis women should have to use that prefix because we've been here. We are already here. And I saw a video that says, what does it take away from you to use cis women? It takes away our identity. That's how I feel. You're coming now into my space, and Black women are very welcoming. We welcome outsiders into our space. We do. Okay, come on into the space of womanhood. But you're going to come into the world of womanhood. You're not going to take on the name of trans woman. No, you're going to take on the name of woman. And because there is clarification for legal purposes, for dating purposes, even for healthcare purposes. Because if you go to the doctor as a trans woman and you write down woman, they are going to recommend services that you don't need, like an annual pap smear. If you put down woman, they're going to ask you the last day of your last period. So on the forms now, it goes, what is your gender? And what was your gender assigned at birth? Because for health purposes, it matters. You have to monitor things. Although you are now self-identifying as a woman, but there are things you need to get checked with because your gender assigned at birth was a man. like your prostate, which could be life and death. You don't get that checked out, you can't get early detection for prostate cancer. I, as a woman, do not have a prostate. But what I do need is an annual pap smear to check for cervical cancer. Now, because you are on estrogen, you do need to get a mammogram, because men could get breast cancer too. Even men not on estrogen could get breast cancer. But I don't need a prostate exam, and you don't need an annual pap smear. So you come into the world of woman, you take the name, and you give the women that are already here, who were assigned female at birth and live life as a woman. We now have to be cis women. But you get to be woman. But you're new here. You're new. You just got here. And I fully embraced the cis name until Voodoo Doll TV gave me a different perspective on how it is very much so reminiscent of colonizing behavior. And it is. You come into a space, you take, you reclassify, you rob. Yes, I am a cis woman by definition. I know it's a scientific term, but I don't feel like I should have to re-identify living in a space that I've been since 1984. I've been here. The doctor assigned me as female. I live my life as female. I classify myself as a woman. But now, because of the newbies, I now have to be a cis woman, but the newbie gets to be a woman. I think fair is fair. If I decided to leave the world of woman and go into a world of man, I would be a trans man. And I don't see the trans men having a problem being called trans men. This argument is not happening on the other side. Cis men, by definition, are not going around calling themselves cis men or cis male. They're calling themselves males and men, and the new men are referring to themselves as trans male with no problem. And you know what I feel like this is? I feel like this is the situation of women, females, cis women, trans women garnering the attention of men. And it is a tale old as time. We are competing for the attention, the likeness of men. There's a scarcity of men. There is also a scarcity of high value, high performing men. And it is the competition. See, there is no competition for men and trans men. There is no competition. There's tons of women out there. And there really are, from what I could see, no trans men that are really lacking in attention from women or females. They're not single. A lot of women are single. But these trans men ain't single. They got somebody. So that's where I think it stems from. But I do agree with Voodoo Doll that there is a colonizer undertone to this whole reclassification movement. Let me know what you think in the comments. Your girl Eris is back. I am going to do my soft, and I call it a soft review on the Wendy Williams documentary, because I cannot watch it I said it before that I cannot, I put in a post that I cannot watch the downfall or the degradation or the crashing out of a successful Black woman in media. And from when I read Wendy Williams' first autobiography book, I think I was in high school, I was hooked. I don't really call myself a fan, but I have a level of admiration for the set Wendy Williams. And when somebody told me, girl, you're going to be the next Oprah, I said, no, I want to be the next Wendy Williams. So I didn't watch. I watched clips and recaps, and I'm going to put together what I have learned in a PowerPoint. Because you know your girl. Ooh, sorry the mic, guys. Sorry. Your girl in a coherent PowerPoint presentation. So that maybe if you haven't watched it, you can watch. And I do understand why it was put out. I feel like the family is playing a game of chess and not checkers. And I think Wendy's dementia was alcohol induced, and I think she's been sober for almost a year. So I think it has. And Wendy is back. Not back to be like Wendy Williams TV show, but I'm okay to manage my own life and my own retirement.